What if I told you that decluttering isn't difficult? The constant back and forth deciding, should I do this area or this one? Or, do I need this or do I need that? Like, it's all of those little micro decisions that can take up a lot of your mental capacity for actually decluttering and organizing and taking action and living with less stuff in your house because you're removing stuff that's actually clutter. So back when I was doing in-home organizing, I was helping a client whose basement flooded and they needed to go through a bunch of the boxes and stuff in the basement. Initially, they hired a different organizer, and that organizer was doing full day declutter sessions with them, going through all of this stuff, and she realized that that was like too much and she couldn't handle it. So that's when I came in and we were doing shorter bursts of decluttering sessions. So we were going through all the boxes that she had gone through with the previous organizer, and the majority of the boxes, totally fine. She agreed. We can get rid of. We came to some of the boxes that she said were towards the end of their marathon day declutter. She was realizing inside those boxes were things that were super meaningful. There was some jewelry from her father who had passed away, some notes from her grandfather, like family heirlooms. A lot of things she didn't realize were at the bottom of that one box because it was like the last box that they did. She hit her decision fatigue, and probably a couple boxes prior to that, but would have gotten rid of things that were very sentimental to her. There's been brain research on decision fatigue and what it actually means. And it's that the average human has to make a lot of decisions. And the more decisions you make, the less likely you're able to think through some of these decisions fully, because your brain is only able to fully handle so many decisions in a day. Once it kind of exerts itself, just like your physical body, if you are running a marathon and like didn't train all the way, your body, like the physical exertion of your body can take like a massive toll on you and your health. The same goes for your brain and decisions. I know, sounds like so ridiculous when I say this, but if you actually think about it in terms of like runners and like the fatigue that they go through, or lifting weights, or any athlete, any just human doing things over and over again that exert a lot of energy and effort, the same goes with decisions. When you fatigue your body, it isn't going to perform at its highest caliber. The same goes with decisions and your end result on what you decide to do with that particular thing. So if you are decluttering and making a lot of decisions over and over about keeping and not keeping, and making a lot of decisions about what to keep, what to part with, towards the end of your declutter session, your brain is going to feel heavy, and taking action on deciding what to keep and what not to keep will take longer because your brain is starting to fatigue. It's crazy to think about, but like, what are ways we can actually tackle decision fatigue when it comes to decluttering? Making sure you declutter for about 15 minutes every day. It's just kind of like a baseline. You're kind of like maintaining your decision-making abilities in regards to your stuff. So instead of trying to do a giant, massive declutter session, you're building up the momentum for, let's say, that marathon when you go through the storage area, because that one's always a tough one. By making small, deliberate decisions every day about your clutter and the stuff that you have, you're going to reduce that decision fatigue. You're going to reduce the likelihood of parting with something you actually need. So using 15 minutes instead of all day is going to help significantly just narrow down what you're going to do, and you can take action and know with confidence that the stuff you're parting with is a good choice. By being strategic about where you are organizing and decluttering and removing all the things, and by having a concise plan and specifically like small actionable places, it's going to help you jumpstart and keep that momentum going. So since you're spending like 15 minutes every day decluttering, it makes sense to use a system that works and that includes small actionable steps throughout your house. My 365 day of declutter calendar is just that. We go through specific areas like a drawer in your office, one file, one pile of paper, a shelf in your kitchen, your junk drawer, boots, shoes, been curated by me and my experience as an in-home organizer. These areas are areas that are easy to get to. You can totally do them in 15 minutes or less. Some of them are like much less. Or you set your timer for 15 minutes, do the task like clear the pictures on your phone, and then when the timer goes up, you're done. And these are things that like you need to do, but now you have an action plan that you can cross off every day without having to think about it. What's better than not having to think about what area am I going to declutter today? Nothing's better than that. So make sure to grab the 365-day calendar down below where you're watching this video. Then print it out, put it on your fridge, take action every single day, and you don't have to think about it. It's going to be so easy for you to have a clutter-free home because you are spending 15 minutes decluttering. You are doing small, actionable areas of your home, and you don't have to overthink it. You're not going to run into decision fatigue. You're not going to overwork yourself. Instead, you are living a clutter-free life along with actually living your life. If you like this video, check out these other ones. I know you'll love them, and don't forget to subscribe.